We are live. I'm hoping we are not upside down. I am going to double check on my other screen because that is important. And here we go. We're kind of sort of not upside down, I guess. We're going to make it work. So again, sewing's three-dimensional. It's two-dimensional and three-dimensional, and sometimes when something doesn't work in one orientation, turning it into a different orientation actually helps your brain understand it better. I have noticed, but that is neither here nor there. What we are talking about tonight is we are going to be finishing those armholes and sewing the button bands. We're not going to be sewing the buttonholes. We'll do that next week because that's a separate thing I want to show you. And I have a really, really neat trick that I want to show you with that I learned the other day from a student in one of my classes, and my mind was blown. So I don't follow, I've mentioned, I think in week 1 that I don't follow the instructions in that they have you using a bias strip that you cut from the pattern and sort of like tuck underneath everything. I really like using pre-made bias tape, like double fold bias tape. This is one I've made myself. This was one I purchased. And what's really nice about this construction is that you're getting a really nice clean finish on those side seams with everything tucked inside the button band, and it's done in two sides, so front and back on your left and your right side, and it's going to end up looking like this. So I've done a little bit of prep work already on my sample dress. So the first thing you need to do is you need to iron the entire side seam quarter inch towards your wrong side. And then what you're going to do is it says fold in at the notches, but what you're basically doing is folding this piece in half to the right side. You don't want to iron this whole thing. This is going to become your button band. So what it's eventually going to look like is that. So you don't need to iron down here, just at the top. And we're going to secure this with a quarter inch seam right now. So I will do that. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. So it's going to look like this. So this is the top of my dress. You can see there's the dart. This is to the right side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sew bias tape. So I've only done one right now. Like I said, I've done some prep work sort of ahead of time. You're going to do all 4. We're going to sew bias tape around, you can see all around here, all the way to here. You want to overlap this edge by about half. Okay, so you don't want the bias tape to go all the way in. The reason for that is this would become too bulky. So you only want it about half. And I have already done mine on the other arm to save the demonstration. This is a very short video this week, folks. So you can see I've got some extra on the end here. But you can see here, I've folded it. So this is actually a little bulky and should probably be trimmed. And here, what you can do, I've sewn it just here, and we just need to cut it like so. Okay, so we're good there. So what you're going to do now is you're going to fold this to the wrong side. So I'm going to flip the dress over. And this is the part that like I said, I think I would probably, this is fairly bulky. If you try to fold this and fold this, it's going to be a little bulky. So I'm probably going to trim this. I won't, maybe I'll make you guys watch me. I'm going to use actually, I am going to do, these are called duck-billed scissors. We have them in the store, and they are super, super, super helpful for spots like this. I'm not going to do it here in the bulk, but I am going to. And what they have is a serrated blade and this large flat piece so that you can get really, really close to your seam without clipping too much fabric. Let's see if I can do this in the awkward camera position. I'm going to do it from this side because I want to see what I'm doing. Okay, so just going to trim this seam down to about half of its width. You do not need fancy scissors to do this. I just like these ones because they're great for trimming. They're good for applique. They're good for embroidery. They're good for trimming when you forget to like trim your seam on French seams. They're good for getting like really, really close and weeding out extra bits of seam. So you can see there, they work really, really well. So I know we've got some of these on hand right now. There we go. Making the funny noises. It's kind of ironic to be sewing this dress. It has been miserably cold the last several days in Ottawa. If you're watching this at some unspecified point in the future, today, June 11th, 2024, is not pleasant in Ottawa. I wore shorts today, and I probably should not have worn shorts. I probably should have worn pants because it's that cold. And I'm really going to look forward to going upstairs after this and putting on my pajamas and snuggling under a quilt on the couch with possibly a hot beverage because it is cold. Not a cold beverage. Okay, so you can see you could conceivably just like snip your seam so that it lies flat, but this is pretty bulky and this will help it lie flatter, which is going to look nicer when you wear it. And that's why we do this. Sometimes you wonder, like, when you learn to sew, you start to wonder, like, why do you do a certain thing? And that's why we do this. I very often do this closer in my lap, which is not something you should do. There. Okay, so that's all there's all the bits. And now again, I would get I'm going to flip it over to the wrong side. I would get my iron out at this point because it's going to help me and do that double fold. I don't have my iron plugged in because I like using my heavy iron, and it doesn't sit well over here. And I like to start doing this not right at the corner, but reconnecting. There we go. Sorry, I'm paused, and we should reconnect in a second. Is this going to reconnect? Annoying. Nope, my internet has just stopped working. Okay, but this seems to be going. That's fine. So what happens is you plunk this in. Let's see if this will connect. The internet on my computer is not working and telling me I'm offline. Come on, stupid computer. And this is still going. Can't connect to this network. And my phone just made a noise. That's okay. Okay, I think it's working. If not, we will just reshoot this. So this button band comes in. This is a little tricky. So you have to like scooch it underneath and then sort of flatten everything down. And again, this is where the iron's going to help you, because then this is going to get turned like that. So you're going to sew along here, and then you're going to sew along here all the way down to the bottom. Oh, come on. Connecting, connecting, connecting. So I'll show you that again. Hopefully we can see. I think I am the only person watching right now, but I'm sure there's people who are going to watch on the rewatch. Or I'm going to get a whole bunch of messages saying you were not live and you were talking to yourself. Which, you know, par for the course. Really par for the course. And you can see how it was very, very bulky before I trimmed that, and it is less so now. But I do still really need to give this a nice iron. Make sure when you sew this, before you get to your dart, before you sew the bias tape on and get your dart, make sure your dart is in the position that you want it to be in. Yeah. So, because, yeah, if you did like this and didn't turn this, which is not what you want. So turn the button band. Oh, it says I'm back online now. Oh, and I'm terribly pixelated. But then really use that iron. And then we would sew all this down. And then, so this all the way down to the bottom. There we go. I'm back. I hope that works. I will have to watch that to make sure that it did work. And that's how you finish your armholes. Your homework is going to be to do that, and to do hem. You're going to fold up, and this has a very deep hem. I think it's 2 inches, like that. And then we will talk about button placement next week. So just gonna do this really quickly. Is this gonna work the way I want it to? No, it's not. This one, I think, is the one I have to do. Nope, that's not it either. Maybe like this. Maybe like this. You know what we're gonna do? Oh, I don't know what I did. I did something that I have to go back. There we are. Hi, it's my face. Oh, I do have 5 people watching me. I'm sorry, everyone. I really hope I don't see any comments. Of the 5 people that are watching me right now, please let me know. Here, I'm going to do this. Oh, there we go. There's my face. Hi, everybody. Of the 5 people, I promise that we're getting better at this. And I heard today that Faustina's bought a mic, which is great. We're getting some new setup equipment so that this is going to be less of a slapdash effort on our parts. We know sewing. We don't know the technical side as well as we would hope. But my 5 people watching, please let me know if what I demonstrated was clear. That would be super helpful. If it was not clear, I'm happy to shoot another video and show you. But that is the essential thing. And I really like most dresses, you sew the side seams together and then you have to finish them some way. And I like how clean, I really love clean finishes on the insides of dresses. And so I like the clean finish on this guy. It makes me happy. So, I guess with that, I shall sign off for the night. And next week, I promise to show you a super cool trick with buttonholes. This week's tools were the duckbill scissors. Next week, I'm going to show you a new use for 1/4-inch seam tape, which is this guy. No pulling shelves off the wall. This guy, 1/4-inch seam tape. I'm going to show you how to use that to put on your buttonholes. See you next week, everybody.